The great thing about this room is that you can hear every squeak in all of these things that we do. So if we're moving,
that's
like
what
this,
I was wondering.
Yeah, and also like this.
I won't do that.
We can do anything you want.
I'm really trying to make a statement. Start pounding.
All right.
Yeah, half of our podcast literally, like us putting coffee down, is in every 10 seconds of it. So
Yeah. Did you guys get coffee?
it's just part of our aesthetic now. No?
We drank a lot of coffee this morning.
Good.
When did you get in?
Last night. Yeah, last night.
Last night.
Do you guys? Or did you guys fly in also?
No, we live in Echo Park.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's Doves. He's in GothBoiClique.
Okay.
So nice.
Wait, did you produce his new song? Okay, cool. Hell yeah.
He's so good. But I stay with him every time I'm here because
Amazing.
they have a really nice place in there. Just my people.
Hospitable guests.
Yeah, like they'd be like my friends in Pennsylvania if I didn't know them. from
That's awesome.
music. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So we are here. Welcome.
We are here.
Okay, so we never do the right way. We never intro this the right way ever at all.
Well, that's kind of the beauty of it.
Yeah,
We
I
just
know.
talk about random things and
So we're here with Wicca Phase Springs Eternal. Would you want to? Let me ask you this: Do you want me to call you? Anyone? What do you want me to call
You
you?
can call me whatever you want. You can call me Wicca Phase Prince Eternal, Adam. It doesn't matter.
You don't mind? Like, well, you don't prefer one thing?
No, if it's like on a flyer, I prefer Wicca Phase Prince Eternal. But if you're talking to me in person, you can call me whatever you want.
Really? Like, because I'm sure a lot of fans probably call you Wicca Phase and Wicca, but like, do your friends call you Wicca or Adam?
Adam.
Yeah,
Nice.
I always wonder that when people get like super big, if their friends just like know them as like what they always were, or they start calling them by like their artist name.
I'm not super big yet, so
I don't know. I feel like you will be though. I feel like this is your year.
thank you.
I think it's
it's your year and it's literally ending soon. So I'm just kidding.
you have the rest of 2017.
Yeah.
You've got like a month
Okay.
to make it your year.
So I know we introduced ourselves, but me and Morgan started Emo Night with our other friend TJ. So we're really fucking excited to have you at Emo Night Day tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
crazy.
Thank
I
you
feel
for
like.
doing this. Thank you for doing this podcast, and thank you for coming down and being so awesome about everything. It's our first time doing something like this, so logistically, it's just all new. It's all like a brand new thing. We didn't plan to do any of this, so having everybody like on board and like people like that we really like you, and a lot of the other bands that are playing has really been like it shows like I feel like a real testament to the like a music scene that everybody's like, we'll do this for like not a lot of money, you know, which is really nice because we don't have that, but we want everybody to like have a great time. So I don't know, it's been a process getting this together, but we're really grateful to have you here.
No, thank you. I'm excited to be here and really honored to be playing it. Like I could not have guessed that I would be booked for this or anything like that.
Really?
So, yeah.
You know, we had like a while ago, we had some of your guys' friends. We had Horsehead and Coldheart DJ upstairs at like we have like 4 stages at the Echoplex, and like one of them is, we did like me and my ex-girlfriend did like a little separate like flyer for them. So she like ran the upstairs stage with all those guys, and the thing about that you guys is that you're all really, really, really nice. is different than a lot of, because when you think of people in bands or artists, you're like, they're really a lot of them standoffish. They get talked to a lot. You guys are all so nice. Because I asked Adam and Romo, I was like, what should we talk about? Like, what should we talk like last night? You know, because you know them, right? Yeah. So Adam's been doing our night for ages, and I was like, what the fuck should we talk about? And he's like, ask him why he's so fucking nice.
So do you have some tips for people who aren't nice?
Yeah, never stop apologizing for everything. I apologize for everything. Like, I'm sorry if I like, I don't know, if there's like, if I'm paying for a coffee and if there's like an awkward exchange of money, I'm just like, oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Do you think about that shit like later when you go to bed?
Yes.
Yeah, like 3 months later, you think back on the one weird thing that happened.
Yeah, last night I was staying at their house, and this is audio, so I was staying with Will and Nikki, and I'm pointing to them now, and I closed the door, and they had mentioned that the cat might come into the room, and then I woke up in the middle of the night, and I was like, oh my god, I closed the door. What if I'm ruining the cat's routine? Like, it was like 5:30 this morning, and I was like, oh my god.
And you just like woke up suddenly thinking about the cat. That's awesome.
Yeah. Let me ask you this though. What about like big things? Do you think about those? Because sometimes this is what happens to me is I like all these little things accumulate and they seem so large in comparison to like the actual things that are happening in like the real things that are like I have deadlines that are like fucking have to do. But then something like that where I'm like, oh shit, the cat.
That's like, I feel like those little things are that I worry about are symptomatic of a larger self-loathing.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think that's just like how, especially like our generation is as people. I think we're like more aware of like everybody else's, like how they perceive everything because everything's digital now. We can talk about anything we want with anybody, whoever we want, all the time. It's like a really strange thing when I was growing up. Like you couldn't just be like, this is how I feel, everybody listen to this, like you can't tweet it, you didn't tweet it and says I'm very old, 33.
That's not very old at all.
How old are you?
27.
Okay, all right, then I don't feel that bad.
No,
I don't feel. Am I the oldest person here? Let me tell you,
so.
when this happens to
like,
you,
yes.
yeah, let me tell you, when this happens to you, you start to feel different. Because I was like, I remembered when I was in a room with like, and I wasn't the oldest person, I was like, man, I never want to be that guy. I am 100% that guy all of the time now, especially with like what we do.
But it's funny because you always bring it up.
I just, it's like one of those things that I think about, it's like one of those things that I think about all the time. It's like a self-conscious thing, I guess, which I have many more reasons to be except of my age. But dude, tell us about like,
yeah, we just
like,
you had a video come out yesterday.
I did.
Tell us about that.
I hate videos so much. I hate filming them. I hate it so much. And so
why?
I don't know. I think it's because my primary motivation for making music is the writing aspect of it, and maybe the recording too. But videos they're now so necessary that you have to do them. But it seems like it's just an aspect of being an artist that I just kind of hate.
You didn't sign up for doing that shit?
No, but it's so necessary now. Like, I've been doing this for 5 years, and I have, like, 1 video out or 2 videos out. And I've filmed so many, but I generally hate them or hate how I look. Or I've canned so many videos.
Really?
People really hate me for that.
Is it because you're in it, or are there videos that you're not in that you end up not liking?
I'm in all of them. It's usually, like, it'll take too long to edit, and then my hair is a different length, and I'm like, that's not what I look like now. Like, that's that video that came out the other night. Yesterday, I guess. Yeah. My hair is like way shorter in it, and I'm like, I hate that. That's not what I look like now, but it's at the point where I need videos. So
what about this? So like, you feel that way about videos? Do you ever feel that way about like when you write like a song and it takes forever to come out and you've moved past that? Like, and you're like, that's not what I think anymore, but I have to put it out. I did that, and I think that like is pretty much like. I think that's everybody. I like has ever been in a band or an artist. Like you don't stay the same.
That's the one of the primary reasons for me starting Wicca Phase was like with bands. Like I used to be in Tiger's Jaw, and with bands it takes forever for albums to come out. It takes so long, and like by the time the songs come out, you're already sick of them. You already feel different, and. So I wanted something that I could write. I wanted a project where I could write, record, and then post it online. And
like that's, same day.
Yep.
You can do it the same day.
That was the motivation. It's happening again now, though, where, like, as more people get involved and you have to start bringing in, like, publicists and, they want, like, 3 or 4 months to work on something and stuff. But I've kind of gotten over that aspect of it. Because I think, I don't know, I just have.
It's just one of those things that's never going to go away when I also like I hate all the stuff that we have because we run another company. Also, we run Archive, which is like a digital strategy company and like a creative agency. So like we do videos, we do posts for artists, and so we need all that stuff. So we're on both ends of the being like, I wish this artist would just get this to us now, and then we're also on the fuck. I wish we could just do this what we want and not have to worry about that.
Yeah, like I wish we would have 3 months to do this campaign for them and make it fucking awesome. But at the same time, the artist is probably like, let me put this out. So it is kind of a...
We're seeing both sides. And it's been, especially like anybody that's been in any band whatsoever knows that. And now bands can just record in bedrooms and just do the thing, which is awesome. It is really cool. I like that a lot of people... And that's how you started this whole thing, right?
Yeah, it still is. I'm still recording at my house. Yeah, it was all, and that was another motivation too, was I wanted to record at my house and mess around with home recording, bedroom stuff.
So when are you all good with Tiger's Jaw? Like you guys are all cool?
Yeah, I was with Brianna on Saturday. She came to one of my shows. We got pizza before. I was with Ben the day before. Yeah, we hang out all the time.
They are probably my favorite band. Like I love Tigers. To get them to play this thing was like, I couldn't have asked for anything cooler.
Yeah, I've never seen Morgan happier.
Yeah, like everything that I can go to that I could. And I loved when you were in it, and I loved everything. I just really like. I think in a whole, they're a very, very good band. And so like, it's really nice that when you left, were they like super supportive and.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily leave to do Wicca Phase or anything like that. I was just sick of playing, like, our most popular songs were songs that I wrote when I was 16.
Right.
And that's, like, when you're 23 or something, or 22, you're so much of a different person. And, you know, but people still want to hear those songs, so you have to play them. And I was like, you know, I'm just not really having fun. And again, it was taking so long for new songs to come out, stuff like that. But yeah, I left. And no, there was no weirdness at all. I mean, a little bit of weirdness just because, you know, Ben and Brianna had to figure out what to do. And we all had to kind of figure out, like, where we stood with each other. But we were fine with each other. It had nothing to do with Ben or Brianna. Or
it was just like a personal thing that, and like, I feel like if you come at it at that angle and you're like, this is what I feel, if you're not having fun, it's going to show. And so I think it's more important to like grow as a person. And if you're not, no one did anything wrong, like then it's great. And I'm really happy that you guys are on good terms because both of artists, you and them, are like, they're great. It's like a great thing that's happening.
So you said that you weren't planning on doing Wicca Phase like right after you left.
My intention, I was doing Wicca Phase when I was still in Tiger's Jaw.
Okay.
My intention wasn't to leave Tiger's Jaw to put all my attention in Wicca Phase. It wasn't like that at all. It was really just, I was sick of playing the same songs, and I think it was starting to show. Like I could just tell at live shows I wasn't having as much fun, and that comes across.
Totally.
Yeah, you can definitely see that. Can you ever imagine this? Like, can you imagine like fucking the Rolling Stones having to play the same song for 50 years?
No.
And they're like, that's like the one people are like, they've made new songs for like years and years and years and years, but people are like, hey, we can just, you know, play the hits. You know, like I don't know, like it seems I think we look at all this stuff and we don't see what it's like to continuously do that. And especially like them and artists now, like things are so instant. Can you imagine that 50 years in like our generation's time is probably like 800 years. It's like this, it's like the time is just so much longer because we expect so much shit to happen every day. Everything's like super instant. So I always wonder that, like what the hits are going to be like now. Like what was the last, I think it was like in what was it, like early 2000s was probably like the last thing we saw where like people put out full albums that people bought on like CDs. And that's like, I think probably like the last time we're going to be like not expecting hits from those bands every second, you know, or it's like, so I don't know, but I fucking, now that we got that out of the way, I just gotta, how many times have you had to talk about this?
Tiger Show?
Yeah, like just because
daily.
I feel like it's like one of those
but
things.
But it's okay.
Yeah, I feel like it's just like one of those things where like people you're doing a thing.
It's
People
something
wanna
you
know.
have to get out of the way so you can move on to other stuff. And it's all, I mean, we're playing the same festival, so it totally makes sense to talk about it.
Are you going to cruise up?
Huh?
Are you going to cruise up and do stuff?
Nah, probably not.
Okay.
Nah.
Yeah.
I mean, no, we talked about it, but we were just like, we'll feel it out. But
Yeah.
I
Like
don't-
if
I don't
it
think
makes
so.
sense in the moment, but other than that,
Exactly.
it's like
Yeah, not something you're planning
Hey,
on
you know
doing.
how hard it is to add your name to a flyer?
Oh yeah,
The
you know what?
length of the name.
I know, and I'm so particular about that. Like, I don't. Anytime I get asked to play a show, I'm like, yeah, but you have to put my full name on the flyer.
Yeah.
And I saw a flyer last night for a show that's coming up where it was so obvious that they had a hard time adding
Like,
my
just
name
like-
to the flyer.
It's just like on 5.
It's way different than
everything
yeah.
else is.
Yeah,
everybody else is like a size like 15 font. Yours is like a 6.
Yeah.
Because we have another band playing tomorrow called I Don't Know How, but They Found Me.
Oh, wow.
So between them and you, it's like 2 entire rows. We were just sitting there like trying to fit everything. It was really fun.
I fucking am super, super excited for that stage. I think that's going to be really... Do you know a lot of those guys that are...
I never met them. No, like Lil Aaron, Smart Death, Lil Lotus. I never met them. I know other people in GBC know them and have hung out with them, but no, I never met them. We have mutual friends.
Will Aaron's a sweet dude.
Yeah, he was. He reached out to me like just about hanging out tomorrow or something like that, and he was really nice about it. And I've heard people say really good things about Smart Death too.
I think everybody... That is the one thing about our event where everybody is just like... There is no like real weird ego thing, and everybody is just like that's kind of the thing that happened with Emo Night is that you can be on stage with like some of your favorite artists. Like that's just the way it happens because everybody's like the same, and it's just really and because they're not playing their like own songs, they're playing like other people's songs. Like DJs
like
are just
the
like
DJs, yeah.
they're just playing songs that they like. So it's like it's a really cool thing to see like people that you grew up listening to being like, oh yeah, we listened to this together, and now we can yell at each other together. We can yell. So it's been the whole like, it's more of an like a community like thing as more instead of like a show, which is like what I think we're trying to make this happen like this. It's a huge venue, so I don't know how that is. We have to like jump through so many hoops to try and make it like as much of our thing instead of like they've never done something like this before so it's like trying to convince somebody that this is like the way we've been doing it has been working for us, and it's been challenging. It's been like a really challenging situation.
I get that.
It's going to be rad, though. What do you have planned for tomorrow?
I don't know. Not much. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I know what I'm wearing.
Hell yeah. I don't, so you're one step ahead
that
of
out.
me.
I just figured that out this morning. We went to a thrift store and
Which one?
It's Sunday's best.
Sunday's best.
Have you been to Varsity?
Yeah.
It's
Nikki
my
has been to Varsity.
It's my favorite one. I go there. I try to go there every Saturday. I go there when I'm like really upset, and then I buy a very expensive trash shirt, and it I feel better for like an hour.
Isn't there a name like retail therapy?
Yeah.
Isn't that what they call that?
Yeah, but I don't have that with anything else though. It's the only. Did you do that with that?
What? No. This was $2.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. The ones that I buy, I'm like, this is way too much for this shirt.
Yeah,
Like,
but then you wear it like 10 days in a row, and then it kind of pays for itself.
yeah.
I get crazy anxiety going into stores and having to buy stuff. I get so anxious, and I feel like everyone's looking at me. Like even if I like pull something out, like just to see what it looks like, I don't know. I hate it. I hate it so much. I get so nervous.
Well, it's hard for me. I'm like really small. I'm like a weird shape for a person of like things that like I would want to wear.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of limited to just wearing like old stuff because everyone wasn't like super fat then.
I feel like a lot of people, especially like the people who are playing the Ham on Everything stage tomorrow, have really distinct looks too. Like Smart Death, Lil Lotus, Lil Aaron.
Lil Aaron has like bright green hair.
Yeah, and I think Smart Death has bright red hair.
Oh, okay.
I don't have a look like that. Like people don't really.
But I feel like because you don't, you stand out almost more because
Thank you.
right?
Yeah, no one knows what Doves looks like. It's like this recurring thing, like on the GBC subreddit. Like people will find a picture and be like, "I think this is him," but like I don't know.
How come? Do you do that on purpose?
I don't think he does it on purpose. I don't think he puts himself out there as much, and like I don't really either. But he does it even less. Like there's not a day that goes by when people don't message me and are like, "What is Dove's Instagram?" It's every day. It's
Is your Instagram not even public or no? That's awesome.
Yeah.
I envy that.
It's really,
Right.
it's really good. You're doing the opposite of what everybody would probably tell you to do. Which is something that we like.
Yeah.
It's like do it differently. Fuck it. Who cares?
He's gonna DJ for me though tomorrow. I do have that planned. We figured that out this morning.
That's
so
awesome.
I have a DJ.
How long? How long are you staying here for?
Until Monday.
You're just in and out.
Yeah. But I'll be back out. Doves and I are working on a new album. He's producing my next full length. So we kind of I've been like demoing the songs to a click track and then sending them to him, but we're gonna have to get together a few times too. And I'm planning another festival in February, so like I'll be out here for that.
Out here? Which
yeah,
one?
the Nature World night.
Oh,
out.
cool. That's gonna be great. At Union.
Yeah,
Is that Union?
Regent?
That's it?
Regent.
Oh, they.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was at Union, right?
It was at Union.
I know
Yeah.
that.
It's
Yeah.
3 nights this year too.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I saw I got like the sneak peek of that thing. It looks really good.
We were with Antoine last night too. And,
What did you guys do?
We went
Is he-
to Cha Cha.
Is he cruising? Is he cruising tomorrow?
Classic.
Yeah, he said he was.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think is there anything else like that, like you want to talk about? Because I know a bunch of shit happened, but a lot of stuff has happened in the last couple of weeks. It's been a rough one for like I think a lot of people.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it's been weird. Like going back to like apologizing for stuff all the time. I mean, there's a lot we could talk about with Gus and stuff like that.
But it's like really like up to you on what like is cool or not, because
Well,
it's like,
I saw your post on your Instagram on how you were kind of apologetic in the way of, I don't know how to say this in the right way.
And that
I
was
feel like
heavily edited by my manager, because before that it was, I think I said I'm sorry about 20 times in it, and he was like, stop apologizing to your fans, like they're not going to hold you accountable or anything.
Yeah.
But I was even like I have that video that came out, right? And like that was supposed to come out probably 2 weeks ago.
Right.
And like merchandise that I'm just sitting on. So I was going to post this like really long Tumblr post about like, hey, I'm really sorry, but like I have to release new merchandise soon, and like I'm going to have albums coming out and songs dropping, and I'm sorry like if it's not an appropriate time, but I don't know if it'll ever be appropriate. I don't know if it'll ever feel appropriate. But my manager was like, again, stop apologizing to your fans. Like, they'll understand. But it's just like, obviously very heavy. I've never really had to deal with anything like that. It's also kind of weird because I'm from Pennsylvania. I still live in Pennsylvania. And so there was a little bit of a disconnect between me and the rest of GothBoiClique, just because I'm not always there, like they're always hanging out and working on songs. So it did seem like a little less real to me, just because I wasn't there, when it happened. And I think a lot of people were. Cold Heart was there, Horsehead, Macnet, Fishnark. So I felt guilty about that. But man, I mean, people, it seems like it's being handled pretty well, and like no one's gonna forget about Peep, ever. So that's great, and I'm happy to see that. We were watching the memorial. They're like live streaming it from New York.
Yeah, it's today, right?
Yeah, we were watching that before we came. And it's cool. Like I don't know. I mean, people love that dude and they always will, so that's great. And
Yeah.
It hit a lot of people like very, very hard.
yeah.
It hit a lot of people like really, really, really hard. And it was hard for me to like I mean, obviously, like if you've ever met the dude, he's a fucking sweet guy.
I know.
Like he's like a very, very sweet person.
That's all I kept saying. He's such a sweetheart.
And so when he did Our Night, you know, you have this dude who's like a larger than life at the time, being just how you are and how everybody that we hang out with is, and you realize that they are a person, you know, and they're a person, and so after you have that and you hear something like this, it's a little bit more real. It's like a real thing, and age is the thing, you know, and especially all the kids that like really, really follow you guys very hard is I hope at some, I don't know, it made everybody made me feel really, really fucking weird and sad, and
Me too.
Yeah, we were all super fucked up about it that day, and I met him one time, but for some reason we were all just in the weirdest, like it was just a dark day, and we couldn't really figure out why, it would affect us that much.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it was just a really shitty situation.
This might lighten the mood a little bit, but I remember when he was when he was DJing for you guys, that day in like the GothBoiClique group chat, he was so nervous, and he was like,
I remember.
everyone has to come, like, what am I gonna
Yeah.
do?
I remember.
And he's
Yeah,
like,
he canceled it.
I know. He was
on
like,
Instagram.
he was like, I'm not doing it, I can't do it. And then
Yeah, it was really.
I remember that. But
I remember I had to like go get. They like came into the wrong entrance, and they came in the echo entrance,
Yeah.
and I had to like go walk everybody like back. Like I was like, man, it's gonna be totally fine, dude. Like it's gonna be like everybody's gonna be pumped, like no matter what. Like you could do nothing, and everybody's just happy, you know. And that was like I think he was like, all right. And then once we got in, I think he was like, this is all right.
Yeah.
yeah, of course.
So, but yeah, it was like a one of the cooler moments that we've had, and also like looking back at, nobody will forget it.
Yeah.
And I think it means a lot. I think he did a lot for music and a lot for like opening people's eyes and like right now.
Me too. He was like, it was weird because he was like a pop star, but not manufactured at all. Like, you know, he wrote all of his songs, like, and like that image, like he came up with Lil Peep. He was Lil Peep, and it wasn't like just some industry bullshit. Like it was real.
Yeah.
Crackers, is that?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Oh yeah. Do whatever
I don't
you
know
want.
if this is gonna be on like NPR or something.
No, like the
JK.
same people that come listen to this. So it's like we're all on the same fucking page.
Yeah, but yeah, he was like a real dude. Like, you know, that was the coolest thing about him. Like, he was legitimate. It wasn't like he turned it off ever. That's who he was, and he created it. Yeah.
It's
Cool.
I've dealt with a lot of stuff like that in the last like I don't do any. I stopped doing everything because I had something like that happen to me. So and so I see it a lot, but it doesn't mean that it gets any different. It's just I think it's way more, especially with somebody who's like a public figure. I think it just especially with the age of everything. Like I mean, Stephanie is like 19, right?
20.
Whatever. Stephanie is like
So like way older than 19.
yeah. So she's like it's like 19, and like your boyfriend is like close with all those guys, and it was like a real. I think a lot of people that age didn't really have to think about that yet, and and it made, I think it made such an impact in that world that, you know, I think that dude is going to change a lot of people's lives for the better.
I agree.
Which is really, you know, it's like how are you supposed to say that? You try to look at the light, the positive and the light in the situation.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't know.
So I wanted to ask you about basically just the whole lineup on the Ham on Everything stage. A lot of people are calling you guys like the future of emo. You know what I mean? And like, how do you feel about that? And do you think that's true?
To a degree, yes. I do think it's true because, I mean, a lot of us came from, I mean, that's what we listened to growing up, right? And I don't think anyone could have predicted that that's the sound that would come from, you know, a group of teenagers listening to emo and, you know, where we're at now. So, like, I want to hate it. I want to hate that label, but at the same time, I'm like, I guess it does make sense.
Because and a lot of people are like, it's like rap, and it's not. Mm-hmm. Is it? Do you think people just associate that because like it started with SoundCloud, and that was where?
I think it was. I mean, like most of the beats are like rap beats, right? Or like at their heart, they're, you know, what we're doing wouldn't be possible without like roots in rap, obviously. But I mean, the way I've approached it and the way I still think about it is like, you know, we can take the foundational elements of trap or whatever, right, and bring those into alternative music or emo music to the point where it's not a thing anymore. You don't have to say like, oh, I'm an emo rapper or something like that. You can just say I'm an artist, and it won't matter. And I think that we're finally at that point. Yeah,
at some point it's just music. Mm-hmm. At like the very core of everything, it is just music. Yeah, and I think people are having a hard time placing it because everyone
wants to, you know, create a label or genre
We're so used to being like, I like this type of music and not this type of music, and so I think it's like it's hard to place you guys because you created a new style of something, which is like it's always hard to break a mold and it's always hard to do something new, and when you do something new, it's hard for people to understand it. And when people don't understand stuff, they get mad.
Get so mad. I think, even beyond that, when we have certain artists DJ emo night that aren't necessarily emo, people are like, well, this person's not emo. And it's like, okay, but they grew up listening to it or they're influenced by it, so how are we supposed to say, no, you can't come here, you know?
Who's to say who is and who isn't, and like what they listen to isn't, right? Like Machine Gun Kelly is like, obviously he's like a pop star and a rapper, but like this dude grew up listening to the same shit, and like a lot of his style is influenced by the stuff that he grew up listening to, and this is like how he wants to be as a person. And it's like, so people are like, he's on the radio, he's not this. It's like, who's to say who is and who isn't for anything?
I agree.
Yeah.
What were some of your favorite bands growing up?
All right, you're gonna hate me for this, but I really didn't listen to a lot of emo. Well, all right, here's the thing. When I was like in like 6th and 7th grade, I found out about Bright Eyes, so that was like that was like so important to me, and I dug so deep. Like I was any Saddle Creek Records band I was obsessed with, like buying their t-shirts every week and stuff like that. So like Their Good Life or Azure Ray, or there's a bunch, but I liked Bright Eyes a lot. I'm trying to think of who else like would have been like
around that
early
time.
because I was listening to punk music too. Like,
it doesn't have to be emo.
Yeah,
just whatever.
Here's when I first got into music, it was like Puff Daddy, Mace, Notorious B.I.G., Busta Rhymes. Like when I was in elementary school, buying the CD singles at like Suncoast Music or something like that, like some chain, and it was that. And then, but I couldn't buy the albums because they were like parental advisory, and my parents were like, no. So
Ricky's parents broke a Limp Bizkit. Well, didn't they break a fucking Limp Bizkit?
She broke it? Yeah, you did have the edited version?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
She was just like, this is terrible.
She broke Significant Other.
Yeah. So I liked Limp Bizkit and stuff too.
Yeah, totally.
And then like quickly got into Blink-182, probably 5th or 6th grade, and then after that, it was Saddle Creek Records stuff. Bright Eyes was the biggest, and then from there I was like, I heard about indie, but I didn't know what indie was. So I was like kind of just reaching, I was going to the library and taking out CDs and like ripping them on my computer, which is how I found out about the Smiths. Like I never heard of the Smiths, but I would just take out 20 CDs at a time and listen to them. So that's how I got into them and loved them. The the microphones were a really big influence on me when I found out about them. That was a little bit later, maybe high school. And they're still, like, Mount Eerie is my favorite band of all time. And it's weird how they, like, Mount Eerie is kind of, like, a lot of us like him. Like, and I always thought that was weird because it sounds nothing like what we're doing. And I always thought he would hate us. Like, Peep or NetArb sampled a few of his songs for Peep. And I was like, I can't imagine that he likes this. Like, this is probably, I don't know. Mount Eerie is, like, one of the biggest influences of all time. I did like I liked Sunny Day Real Estate. I liked Mineral. But I couldn't really, I never got into, like, scene music or anything like that. Like, I thought the guys looked cool. You know? And I liked, like, scene girls or something, but I never listened to, like, I can't even name this. I don't know. I don't even know who I'm trying to name.
I think you
Like Under Oath.
There you go. Yeah.
No, yeah.
I mean, I never listened to them, but that sounds right.
I'm gonna meet him tomorrow.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
He's
it's probably everyone who's playing tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
I don't know,
about
like, I mean, The Used? Like, did you ever listen to The Used?
Like the singles.
Okay, yeah.
what about you? Like, since you because you produce a lot of this stuff, so like you can cruise over here. You don't gotta stay.
Yeah,
like
get
us,
over here.
dude.
Get over here.
He likes to stay anonymous, it seems.
Yeah.
Well, you can't see anybody.
You want to
That's
sit
true.
down there?
I don't know. Am I supposed to talk into a mic?
Yeah, you can talk
Yeah.
to the mic. Like,
Sure.
so you like do all the producing. So like, what was your like influence growing? Like,
So like a lot of the same stuff. Definitely microphones was a huge influence. Bright Eyes was like the earliest one. But then I did have that scene phase. So like Under Oath was huge.
yeah,
I used to go to like a local church that would have shows, and it would like they would be the only place that I could see hardcore music because it was like, well, it's Christian, so it's okay, like whatever it sounds like.
right.
Oh, yeah, because Under Oath is a Christian.
Yeah,
band,
like,
right? Yeah, totally.
the
Yes,
early
yes,
stuff
yes.
is,
yes.
like,
Early stuff is like
super
very
Christian.
yeah. That's why I didn't listen to it.
Right. Yeah.
But
Well, I was
it's the best.
Yeah, that's why I just didn't. I was like, not for me.
Yeah,
I
I
was
was
like,
really young at the time and impressionable.
Yeah.
So like that was a whole phase, and then I kind of grew through music out of that into like I don't know a lot of other genres, but
He's playing a sick set tomorrow.
maybe. I don't know.
No, I'm sure it's gonna be great. Like, I'm really.
Well,
There's,
like Adam from Ham hasn't told me whether or not I'm playing it.
Oh.
just
He
do
is.
it.
He
Just do
is.
it.
Oh, no,
Fuck it.
you are.
Guess
He's
what?
You are.
Adam is telling me that he's playing, but he's not telling him that he's playing. Like it's really.
You know why?
doing
Because
it.
Adam right now
out
is
to Adam.
he does this thing on Saturdays where he walks along the beach and like listens to an album and eats a breakfast
And
burrito.
does
So he's
a-
probably just busy doing that.
He's
and he hasn't
literally
told
busy
you.
doing like a weird personal blog.
Yeah.
Like his whole fucking day.
Yeah.
And then he goes to like a comedy show and sees a rom com.
Like he has this whole thing every Saturday, and that's why he's not letting you know. But he will after.
Actually, Adam and I, and a couple other people are doing something. I think that was because of all the Peep stuff. Because we're trying to get like Narcan into like venues and like awareness of like we're doing that. So we're doing like next week we're doing like a presentation for like a bunch of like venue owners to like get that stuff in and sort of like educate people and like venue owners, and then also the like people who go to venues on like what happens if something like this. And so, in a lot of ways, hopefully, it'll be a positive influence on like some shit.
Adam is the most positive person
In
I
the
know.
world. In the
And
world.
Normally, I would hate that. I was saying this last night. Normally, that personality type, I would hate, but he is genuine. So it's like it's the best thing.
It really is.
It's not a put on at all.
It's not. It's just we've known him for so long, and they've just been a part of this for so long, and we like support each other because they do a lot of different events. They do a lot of different events, and like Adam genuinely knows about more music than anybody I've ever met. He like is no bullshit. Like he's no bullshit, and like sometimes I have to when I show him something that he's never heard of. I'm like, because I really like this band Code Orange, and they have like another band called Adventures, and you know them, the Adventures, yeah, and it's fucking awesome. And I was like, Adam, have you heard this? It's like it's like the same people in the band, which is awesome. And he had never heard of it, and I was like, I did something. I was like, I did a thing.
I remember when I was in Tiger Shell, the first time we played Pittsburgh, we played with Code Orange. They were Code Orange kids, and they sounded like choking victim or
Yeah.
leftover crack.
Yeah.
Like they did not. They were street punks and they were selling like back patches and stuff like that. And I was like, this is the coolest band in the world. Like, and they weren't big or anything like that. I was like, they're going to be huge because like they're just so good. And I did not think they would be this big. Like, I had no idea.
They are up for like a
Yeah,
Grammy.
a Grammy.
Really?
Yeah.
Best metal performance,
Yeah.
right?
They're up for a Grammy. Yeah.
Damn.
I fucking hope they win it. That would be so awesome. It's just really good. I think a lot of this, we're in a really cool space for music because there was that time where it was a couple of years ago where everybody's like, I'm just gonna like go to a rave and like go to like not like a DJ, like this like weird. It was very strange, and now people are like, we like instruments again. We like people who are like playing instruments again, and it always comes back around. And I think we're in a very cool time because it's the generations of kids that are making the music like everything, and like nobody's like bummed on one thing or another. You know, like when I was in high school, people would be like, I definitely don't listen to this, and it is not cool to listen to this. Everybody's like, this is cool. Everything's cool. Yeah. Like I think it's especially you guys, like 19, 20,
Yeah.
20 years old,
20.
20. Sorry, yeah, you guys are like very, very good about being like open-minded and not being like super stubborn about shit. And the people like right before, I don't know, what are you, generation what?
X?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
No,
I don't know.
Are you Generation?
I think so.
Cool.
I know.
Yeah, I know, right? Like it's fucking weird. And like we had,
Sick.
yeah, it's really cool. So they're like super open to shit and go to like a ton of stuff that's like different. And I remember like when I was in high school, I was like, you did the things that like,
Yeah, you were
You
like
did.
one thing. Like
You
I
did one
only
thing.
went to emo shows every Friday, like by myself.
Nice.
Like no friends, and yeah,
Yeah.
that was it. Like that's the kind of kid you were, or you liked, I don't know, NSYNC and Backstreet Boys or some shit.
I mean, I grew up in Tucson, so like everybody just did. There was such a small, it was like so small. Everybody was in everybody's band, and everybody was friends because there was just like not that much to do.
We had a really like strange, I don't know what was going on in Scranton, Pennsylvania, but we had like a weird, I don't know, like it was just so weird. Like the Menzingers were 2 years older than me, right? And like their younger brothers were in my first band, so that's how I knew them. And I went to middle school with them and high school, so that's how I knew the Menzingers. And obviously they are like super popular now, right? Like Tiger's Jaw is from Scranton, Captain We're Sinking is from Scranton. Like all bands that are like, you know, signed to cool.
What was that last one?
Captain We're Sinking. Do you know them? They're on Run for Cover Records.
Was that something that I should listen to?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're very good. Really, really cool.
Okay.
They don't play that often, but they're so awesome.
You couldn't hear what that sounded like, but it was an aggressive.
It was
It was a
awesome.
sound. It was kind of a tight sound.
Yeah, it was.
Kind of like a bass wobble.
Yeah, it was cool.
Right? A little wobbly.
Yeah.
That was sick. You want these headphones?
No.
Okay.
All right. Well, I mean, fucking, this went probably longer
Yeah, it's
than,
fine.
I,
I'm
Yeah.
than I
sorry.
thought.
That's my
no,
fault.
no. It's totally cool. We just like enjoy talking to you.
Yeah.
Like we were like, whenever we go into these things, especially today, we're like, fuck, we got to get down and like go see all this shit and like do all this stuff. But we really wanted to spend some time with you because we like you a lot. And
Yeah.
we're really appreciative of you guys being just so fucking cool.
Thank you.
And like, you know, changing a lot of the musical style, like pretty much changing music. That's awesome. Like I think it's gonna be like, I think it's gonna go down in history as like this is a
Is
time.
that James L. Harper?
That is I think so. He's so handsome.
So our third business partner, TJ, planned a bunch of shit, but he didn't show up. So like someone came to get clothing and I didn't know, and now this guy's here and it's great. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go, but I did things that you have to deal with.
Yeah. But anyway,
Anyway, we're really stoked for tomorrow.
Me too.
And yeah, we're
if
gonna
you see us running around and we're just fucking going crazy, stop and like just give us a hug and tell us to calm
Yeah.
down.
Okay.
And like just
tell us
be
it
like,
will all be okay.
Yeah, just because we're gonna be doing that, and
I'll probably be crying.
yeah, one of us is
Me
gonna.
too.
I think most people there, it's just gonna be like just like that. So
I think people are gonna cry during Dove's set. To be honest, it's
Oh, yeah.
so good. Or they're gonna be like front flipping off the stage. That's
both
gonna
at
be me.
once. What
That's
about
gonna be
both at
me.
once? Yeah.
I'm gonna be crying, FaceTiming my girlfriend, front flipping off the stage.
Hell yeah.
Just try and do that all three at once.
Easy.
And
Yeah.
screen record it. All right, dude.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and everybody. Tomorrow,
Is
Wicca
the day.
Phase, Springs Eternal, Ham
Emo Night
Stage,
Day
and Doves.
and Doves.
Now and Doves.